Alright, and welcome to our second installment of Disc Golf with Conrad, this time at Alexander Park. The first hole, we're going to start on hole 3 just because of the parking situation. It is a par 4 and just under 500 feet. It's deep into the woods. A lot of people come and play this hole and can't find the pin because you can't see it off the tee. I threw my Axiom Vanish there and it turned over a little bit more than I expected, but I think I'll still have a decent upshot. Yes, I will. Still working on this forehand here. And it looked good, but it was just no mustard on it, really short.
Got commitment issue.
So barely in circle 1. And looks like the putting routine is trying to work in. Whoa, air ball. I guess that's what happens when you don't practice putting at all before you actually play around. Unfortunately, with the construction that they're doing here, they've moved the practice basket totally. They've uprooted it. So if you want to practice, you have to practice on one of the baskets at the holes. I think for time's sake, I didn't bother doing it that time. I was able to walk away with a par though. So going on to hole 4, it's a par 3. It's 237 feet. It is a tunnel shot, but once you get out, you're in the wide open. So the main thing is to hit the gap. Any of them. And I don't know if you played in Georgia or not, but the gnats and bugs are out in full effect here. Middle of the summer. Another forehand approach. Not looking bad. Ooh, nice putt. Maybe a little bit too high, but the basket was forgiving enough. All right, moving on to hole 5. Another par 3, 236, just the opposite of 4. You're actually throwing into the woods again. And made the first 2 trees. There are no Mendos, but didn't quite get up the fairway like I needed. And that should do nicely. Every hole that we play so far has had 3 different pin locations, and a good friend Drew moves them on occasion. He's supposed to move them every once a month. I won't call him out. And sometimes he doesn't make that schedule, but I was able to walk away with a par there. Moving on to hole 6, another par 3, 285 feet. This basket is outside, so it's a little bit different than what you see right there. That's why it's a little bit longer. That was my MVP Vector through on a hyzer. That Vector is it's a circuit disc, but it's been let's say mistreated by its previous owner. A couple of good tree hits and left in the pond. Oh, it looks like the putting is not on today. But I called the owner. He said just keep the disc. I guess he wasn't happy with it, but it's been a very good installment in my bag. It's one of those discs that you hate to have because you know you can't replace it. All right, hole 7, par 3, 303 feet. The tee box is back. There's rocks and trees further behind the camera that you have to throw out of. It's hard to record this hole. But I didn't make it out the first opening there. Hugged the left just a little bit too much. Oh, and working his forehand in. I think that was a star boss, but it broke a little bit sooner than I expected to and left me with this long putt. And that was a terrible air ball. So, you really got to practice putting before you get out and start recording yourself. That's a mental note to myself and a public service announcement as well. Know that feeling. I think all disc golfers do at some point. So walk away there with a double bogey.
And you live to fight.
Next hole is hole number 8, par 3, 220. Either a forehand or a slight turnover downhill into that little gap. A lot of people ace run it. I typically stop ace running it because the out of bounds comes into play quickly when you do that. So I do throw my throwing pure here. Like I said, just on the ante, and it comes down. There's some roots and rocks down there, so sometimes you get a little ground play. I think I got kicked to the left a little bit more than the flight predicted. All right, was able to finally make a putt and get a birdie. Moving on to hole 9, it's a par 3, 340 feet, and all uphill. Now this hole is a little bit tricky because you're throwing out of this covered area and you don't really know what the wind is doing out there. There are those 2 trees that you can kind of use as a guide, but the tree on the left is always leaning to the right, like the wind is blowing even when it's not. So it's still a guessing game. That was a thrasher. Put me in circle 1. All right, hit another putt, got another birdie. It must feel good right now. Hole 10 is a par 3. Again, 3 different locations on this one. This is in a further right location. If I had a better camera, you can actually see it in this picture, but proper play is either the forehand or the hyzer line. I go with the hyzer, and I throw that a little too low. I don't even get into the green area. So just a little upshot with the putter. Whoa, and it slid behind the basket. That's one thing about the pro shots here. They're easy to slide down that hill behind the basket and leave you with a tougher comeback. But hopefully you can make them like that. It's another par. Hole 11 is par 3, 240 feet. 2 locations again. This one's on the one that's left, what we call outside. The other one is a little bit more to the right. And I was throwing my glow drone only because it finishes hard. So I was trying to get it up there out the gap and have it finish hard, and it did that, but it just hit a different gap than the one I was aiming at. Still worked out fine. That tree right there to the left of me can block you from having a putt even if you're on the green. All right. I was able to get another birdie. It's feeling good. We'll look at the scorecard for the first 9 holes. Remember, it started on 3. So that doesn't look too good. Hopefully the rest of the round isn't like that. We'll see. Hole 12 is a par 3, 235 feet. Again, 3 locations. This is the further left location. That is a Star AVR 3 that I'm throwing. Nice little flex line. Comes down nicely. Those trees in the fairway really can get in the way of some very good shots. Able to tap in there for another birdie. I feel a streak coming on. Hole 13 is par 3, 257 feet. Again, 3 locations. This is the earlier of the 3. And for me, this is just a straight putter shot down the middle. But if you don't hit the middle, that happens. Alright, decent up. Let's see if we can get down. It's on the tree. That's the wrong pole that you want to park there, Conrad. Alright, step up to this putt. A little weird footing, and the tree is right there in my I wanted to say swing, but that's not a swing. That's my throw from my arm. So I missed the first one. Show that I can make it with the second one, but then really have to finish out, tap in for that bogey on 13. Hole 14, par 3, 315 feet. This is 2 locations. This is the further one back and to the left. Really a nice little hyzer line out there in the open to finish left to be a good. That one, not so good. I hit the tree that's right there in the middle, but was able to get past it, so I didn't have it obstructing my view. Now with this putt, the canopy comes into play so much that I had to get down and kneel to do a falling putt here, and well, it was an attempt made. Not a good one, but at least the attempt was made. All right, walk away with a par, just to make sure. Next hole is hole 15. It's a par 3, 220 feet. 2 locations here. I actually like the one to the right. It's a little hard to get to, but it makes it a little bit more fun. This is straight ahead, up the hill, where that disc is flying, and not too bad. Right, that was a quick birdie. And practicing my jump man. Hole 16. Now, when me and my friends play hole 16, the question is how many? Basically, how many discs are we going to go throw out there? Because we always throw multiple. For my shot, I decided to go with I forgot what disc that is. Oh, whatever it is, it was nice. I think that's a new addition to my bag. I'll figure out the name here in a second. But got a birdie on that 16. 16 can either be a par 3 or a par 4. In that location, it is a par 3. 17. 17 is a hole I dread because right along the trees on the left is just water, and it just attracts disc. Now this throw was slightly upsetting. Only reason why is because on my first throw, I was in the ideal landing space with that disc, but my phone stopped recording for some reason. So I had to go out there, pick up the disc, come back and record again. Didn't land in quite the ideal area. Going with a forehand here, see if I can get closer to the green. And a little bit too straight, too long. I think at the moment I have 4 discs in that water over there. I've actually gone in to retrieve 2. Let's see if we can finish this putt. Those vines are sneaky little things. I think the vines are worse than trees because they make it appear like there's a route through, and sometimes there's not. Moving on to hole 18 after that par. This is a par 4, 462 feet out. Playing out this tight little tunnel here with these 4 trees that show more than their age with the number of hits that they get off the tee. That was my Axiom Vanish. It flipped up and turned a little bit more than I expected to. So I ended up a little bit further right than my ideal landing area. Doing an approach shot with an AVR 3 that doesn't come out right, doesn't have enough mustard on it. And leaves me, I think that is slightly outside of circle 1. Circle's edge maybe. Let's see if we can get this putt in. Oh, another air ball. That's what happens when you go with the AM side. Yeah, we know you can hit it on the second one. Doesn't count. And I'm in for a bogey. Alright, got 2 holes left to play. Now we're going back to hole 1, par 3, 315. It is in the right location instead of the left. And I'm throwing a rock 3 here. And it's flying, doing rock things. From the tee box it looked like it might have went in, but in actuality it was a little bit short of being an ace run. Didn't you just learn from the last hole about the am side? Guess not. Alright. This might be one of those days I'm looking forward to actually going home. End up with a par there. Hole 2 is a par 3, 358 feet downhill. The basket is currently hiding behind those 4 trees that you see right there. Those 4 little bushes. And those bushes are somehow magnetized with plastic that they actually draw a disc into them. I'm taking my Firebird here, trying to go out on a wide line. There's a little headwind, so I thought I could make it around. And I barely did. So I'm looking to see if I'm outside of circle 1. I think I'm in, so I can't, step putt or anything. So I do that and throw another air ball. Alright, let's finish up this round and just tap this one out. Or not. Yeah, we know the second one doesn't count. So, walking off with the bogey on that hole, looking at the scorecard, a lot of drama going on there for me. It was an emotional round. I was able to finish 1 under, not a record by any means, but it was fun. And thank you for watching. It's getting a little bit of enjoyment out of making these videos for you. Again, thanks for watching. I figured out how to put a subscribe button there and music credits.